Okay, guys, we are back again at the talent meet and greet event. And this time, hey, I've been sitting with a lot of people, guys. And this time, I'm sitting with none other than Grootman Vince. Brian, how's it?
Absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invite and for allowing me to be with you guys.
It's a pleasure, Grootman. It's a pleasure, Grootman. So, as always, man, I want to start with the vibe, Grootman. How's the vibe tonight?
The vibe has been amazing, actually. I will be honest, I was actually one of the latecomers. However, no, like just from everybody that I've met and everything that I've seen, it's an absolute peaceful, chilled vibes. I could definitely come here again, like on a recurring event. So I'm loving it, man. It's warm, it's comfortable, everybody's chilled, everybody's laid back. You know,
Grootman, those are the vibes we're looking for. Grootman, I'm just chilled, laid back, sort of a couch vibe is.
Precisely.
So, Grootman, digital marketing. I'm just gonna dive deep into it. Digital marketing. Tell us more, Grootman. What's happening in that space? What's happening in that?
Digital marketing is a space that consistently, always, is evolving. You know, there's nothing that you can say I solidly know and that I can run with for the next 10 years. You can have that in the background, but digital marketing is constantly evolving. It's constantly moving, it's shaping and molding. It's almost like AI that's thinking by itself. And with every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to a month, you are learning something new. There's something that you have to catch up onto. Digital marketing would be something that you are holding hand in hand with coding as well. New languages are coming out, you know. And it's just the broad aspect of what does it mean to be in a digital marketing space. You know, content creators, copywriters, graphics design, all of these guys are working together from business side, from face of the brand. You know, it's all constantly moving, and that space is something that everybody has to have some sort of like a touch in it, you know, be a part of. I mean, like you, I'm pretty sure you're in it in yourself. You don't even know, you know, the fact that you're holding this mic with me and we're sitting together, it's digital marketing. There's coordination behind it, you know, there's branding, there's marketing. It goes into the whole thing. So yeah, that's digital marketing. And right now I would love for people to keep, you know, a very close pulse to digital marketing, because it's going to be ever changing.
So you mentioned that it's a very fast-paced world. Fast-paced world. So, Grootman, my question is, how do you keep up? How do you keep up? Is there courses? How do you keep up personally?
Personally, the news. You have to follow the news. You have to be aware of what's going on. Different companies give out different tips. There are courses from, like, you know, your Google certificates. You have digital marketing courses that you can have on the side as well. Basically everything that falls under learning is consistent, and the news for my side is very much new. So technology as a whole, entertainment as a whole, how people are shooting. Even, for example, I'll be watching like podcasts and even like reviews.
Even podcast and chill?
Podcast and chill, brother. Podcast and chill. You know, I've seen how from podcast and chill how the intro came in at first to the new intro. You know, the difference is like, you've seen it. It's evident. You know, it's in your face. The quality of sound in a podcast, it's there. So it's got like technology in it, but then the brand marketing behind it, it's how they market it. Just to refer back to, like, you know, right now they've reached 1 million views. So, you know, it's going big. It's going big. Twitter helps, you know, these social media platforms, they help with your brand. And with digital marketing, knowing what the keywords to search when you're looking for a specific podcast or you're looking for a specific brand, those things help you. And I personally very much, I'm always constantly grabbing information. And in this generation right now, we grab information at a split second. You grab it, you know about it, you sort of forget it, you move on.
Just when I was about to say, it's sort of catching a culture of, is that even the word, over information or too much information?
I would say, just to coin a phrase from my favorite comedian, is that we are the generation who blinks. to information. We know something now, we forget about it now, compared to the generation where you used to write a letter and send it and wait. Where you used to get news on the newspaper and read about it, and it's already happened, and we're discussing it. We talk about it now for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and then we wait for the next print. Right now, we're the generation that just gets information quickly, and we move. We move. We talk about the bad, we talk about the good, we talk about the neutral. And with that being said, it's just a different vibe for us as this generation, and it's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. It's just how we internalize information. So yeah.
Just when I was about to ask Grootman, do you feel like losing that element of having? I'm going to take this book for example. We're reading a book, it's the information is there. We have time to process it.
Yes.
But now, like you said, we're in the generation where we blink and information we receive the following day it's gone. We lost that information, that how do I put this, Grootman? Yeah, of having to having to process it, the time to process it.
I don't think we've necessarily lost it, because we still do talk about information. For example, politics. We talk about it, we discuss it. We look at other people's views. We can talk about a topic that happened in politics. For example, what the politician said. I hear your view, I tell you my view, and then we see where we stand with our views. That's a discussion that's actually quite prolonging in itself, compared to, did you see this meme? And then you share it, and then we move on. Then you use it later on. So with the information that we receive, it depends on how we actually gravitate towards that information. So I would say that one of the things when it comes to information, and just like to link it to digital marketing, is how do you remember a brand? If a brand is too busy for you, you forget it. You forget a brand when it's like it's got too much colors, it's got it overwhelms you. You forget about it. A brand that is simple, straight to the point, gets the message through across. You're like, actually, I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen this somewhere, and you see it again. You hear a song that was linked to the advertising or something like that, and it gets to a point where it's like with digital marketing, it's got a baseline of like getting it together. So just from your perspective of how you perceive information, how you receive it, so you could be a visual, audio, scriptural person. It's up to you.
That's really a beautiful way of putting it, Grootman. That's really a beautiful way of putting it. So, Grootman, did we touch on graphic design?
Okay, so graphic design on how, from my side, graphics design, I was somebody who was in love with drawing from a young age. Personally, I loved to animate and doodle a lot. I used to just play around with like brands such as Skull Candy, Adidas. I used to doodle like this whole portrait, and majority of my friends would be like, dude, can I get that as like, ink on my body or something? And I'll be like, well, that's on you. You can take it. Like, you can have it. It's fine. Like, I'm still in high school at this time, getting into varsity. I started to use Adobe Illustrate and all of that, and understanding what it was to actually fine line my art. And then graphics design just came into a point of like putting it in animation and then motion as well, and adding sound behind it, as like to refer back to like Podcast and Chill, they have animation right now, so it's beautiful work. And if you take it even further, you obviously will be taking it to like Disney. Animation becomes that 3D scale, that 4D scale, and like but graphics design is quite important, because we as humans are visual people. You visualize things, everything, like from architecture, food, the artistry of food, of how you see the menu. Yeah.
Can you touch on because you're very big on the artistry of food. Yeah. Let's sort of dive into that.
Absolutely. So the artistry of food has its own category where you are able to sell something and allow somebody's senses to indulge themselves within what they're seeing in the visual sense. So if you see, for example, like if you're trying for, let's say it's Tuesday night and you would like some Asian food, for example, you go through your menu, you're looking for Asian food, you start to see like the Asian cuisine at the moment, and you're like, cashew nut tonight, or maybe chicken chow mein, and you like, you start, your tongue starts you know.
You're sort of losing me there, Khutman. You're sort of losing me there.
My apologies. No, the craft of creativity is something that's really real for me. It's something that I live and breathe. You know, it's not necessarily something that I'm just bypassing by myself. There's a lot of elements of human in it. That's what I believe in. There's a lot of elements of human where you can actually describe something to somebody in verbs, and like just words itself, and then somebody's already like, maybe you can, hey, you know, brother, you know, and then even in like verbs, you just like when you're making a sound for a beat, like do, and everybody's already like, okay, where's this going? Yeah, you know, and that craftsmanship from human experience comes to a very beautiful part of that. So yeah, for me, visual, sound, like all of these things lead up to digital marketing. They sort of embody it to represent it into a spectrum. I mean, like some people can focus in mastering the craft of each individual element, but it always comes to embody itself through here. This is the plate. Indulge your senses. You know.
Khutman, there's a lot, Buddha, and I feel like we need a longer interview. But for now, Khutman, I think we should leave it at that note. Just the taste. Khutman, thank you so much, Buddha, man.
So appreciate it. Thank you so much.